What's going on, guys? GameStone here, and in this video I'm going to be bringing you the third game that the Los Angeles Lakers played. It was against the New Orleans Pelicans in LA, and you could see the score right there, 119 to 112. Obviously, the Lakers falling to the Pelicans. Just one thing I wanted to say before I get into anything. We could have, but we didn't. Yeah, we are down by 22 at one point in the game, and we made a tremendous comeback, which, we didn't win the game, but it's really nice to see that the Lakers making that huge comeback, and it really showed a lot of determination from the young guys from the Lakers. So that's always something you want to see if your team, from any team, young, old, whatever it is. So I'm proud of the Lakers for coming back in this game. I'm just kind of upset a little bit just because, we could have won that game, and that definitely would have been a great start to the season. But you know what? We're a young team. I mean, if they have players like DeMarcus and Anthony Davis, it's kind of expected for them to, go out and do their thing. And they obviously did it. They combined for about 49 points and 28 rebounds. So when you take a look at that, I mean, it kind of just sets the tone there, and they're able to create offense and more plays for their teammates like Etwan Moore, Drew Holiday, who had pretty good games as well. Just our defense needs a lot of improvement. Our defense stepped it up in the fourth quarter. Otherwise, this would have been a blowout. They shot 57% in the field. So, as a young team, we definitely need to learn from our improvements. And that's something I hope that we can do. We had some spark from Jordan Clarkson and Caldwell Pope, which I was pretty surprised he scored 20 points. Obviously, he's not the most consistent scorer, but today he played good. Lonzo had 8 points, 8 rebounds, and 13 assists. Another near triple-double, but we didn't come away with the win, and we could have, but as a young team, we'd made mistakes in the time when it mattered. KCP missed a floater. Lonzo missed a three. Kuzma missed a hook. It's just, I just enjoyed seeing all the emotion though from all the Laker young guys, for making this game. I mean, a lot of Laker fans stopped watching. It seemed like after the third quarter or after the second quarter, because we're consistently down by 20, and we just went on this huge run, and I was really confident we could have won the game, but. When you have two superstars, the best power forward and center in the game, it's just really, really hard to close out on a team like that. The Pelicans are a good team, so I will give them tremendous credit. Tremendous credit to them for hanging in there and obviously holding back our comeback, because that comeback, all the fans, they're being loud in Staples Center. They just found a way to close it out. So great job by the Pelicans for doing that, and I only wish them good luck for the rest of the season. For the Lakers, though, Brandon Ingram, he kind of struggled. He shot 33% from the field. You know what? I mean, he's not going to be scoring 25 points every game. He's going to have games he could struggle. He's still in his second year. It happens to young guys a lot, even to the older veterans, too. So I just want to see more improvement from his jump shot. Obviously, we saw him attack DeMarcus Cousins a few times. He was aggressive to the hole, and that's how he got his 7 points, really. Larry Nance, quiet game. Not much bad to say about him just because he shot 50%. Not much. And Brook Lopez, this is probably the first game that he struggled in. He didn't have the best game. He shot 2 of 8. He missed some floaters. He's got 7 points. If he would have played a little better, I think we probably would have pulled it away. Caldwell Pope, like I said before, the one that surprised me the most, mainly because he shot 50% from the three, which he obviously did not do that in Detroit. He came up with a big 20, and he was kind of the spark along with Jordan Clarkson to begin our run. So great job by Caldwell Pope. If he can keep playing like this, I don't think we'll do much losing in the future. We saw the comeback that happened, and the Pelicans just closed it out because they have the better players than us. Lonzo. One thing I noticed, he had, I think, 5 turnovers it was. It was primarily, those turnovers were in the beginning of the game when the offense looked pathetic, it looked like the first game all over again, where the offense, nobody was moving around. Lonzo's having to force those passes, and that's not Lonzo's game to force passes. He's there to make the best pass available. He doesn't want to force the pass, and that caused us 5 turnovers. But for the most part, he had a pretty good game. He almost had a near triple-double. He did shoot 3 of 13, however, but I'm not really too focused on his scoring. We saw what he could do. Obviously, he did it against Phoenix, and I guarantee you, if he did it against New Orleans, people would be like, "Oh, it's only New Orleans." But since they lost, they're gonna hail Lonzo for that. But it's whatever. I don't really care what the other people say. Julius Randle, he played good. Julius Randle played good. He shot 83% from the field. He brought in, the stat line might not show much, but he brought in tremendous amounts of energy to the game. He did shoot 1 of 3 from the free throw, which kind of ticks me off how NBA players still miss their free throws. But all in all, I give Julius Randle I give him a pass. He played really good, in my opinion, with the minutes he was given, with the energy he was bringing towards him and the other guys, which kind of led the Lakers' comeback. Just got to get credit where credit's due. Kyle Kuzma, 20 points. So, we're seeing obviously what he's done in the Summer League and so far what he's doing in the regular season. It won't be long before he starts in the starting lineup soon. I mean, Lonzo and Kuzma are just great with each other. Even without Lonzo, Kuzma's great. So, great job by Kuzma. Obviously scoring 20 because our offense wasn't really doing much. So Kuzma just kind of came in there and did his thing, which is scoring. Corey Brewer, he had a great game last game. He got defensive stops on Devin Booker in the fourth quarter when it really counted. But Corey Brewer, he didn't really do much today. It's not he didn't play trash. It's just he only got 8 minutes in the game. He only took 1 shot and made it. Missed his 2 free throws. Now, the main player I want to talk about today is Jordan Clarkson, 24 points. The guy that sparked our comeback. The guy that pretty much kept us in this. The guy that helped our offense. And to me, I think he was a player of the game for the Lakers, obviously. He was the reason why we even were in this game, obviously in the fourth. A lot of people thought we're done until Jordan Clarkson went on this huge run. They found Randle for a couple passes, and Randle scored. Found Kuzma. He did a great job of helping out that offense, and Luke Walton was rotating lineups to seeing what worked, just for experimenting, and next thing you know, Jordan Clarkson put up 24. So great job by Jordan Clarkson. I give him an A for that. I mean, he found other people as well. He made other people involved. He brought in a lot of emotion and spark into this comeback, and he was the reason why we even lost by 7. Despite being down by 22, he never gave up. He kept on fighting, and that's what I want to see off the 6th man of the year, possibly, if he keeps playing like this. I want to see Jordan Clarkson keep playing like this. I want to see him score 8 points. I want to see him score at least 15. And he has surpassed my expectations, obviously, for this entire year. I'm going to admit myself, I was like, oh, is Jordan Clarkson even getting better? I don't even know. But he is getting better. The performances he's put on this year already proves he's getting better. The more emotion, the leadership, you could see it in him that he's becoming a better individual, a better teammate, and just a better NBA player overall. So that's what you want to see out of your bench. You saw Jordan Clarkson put up 24, Kuzma put up 20. Just our starting lineup didn't do it. Ingram, he only put up 7. Larry Nance didn't do much. Brook Lopez didn't do much. Lonzo was pretty much the only starter doing something, but at the same time, he wasn't, 5 turnovers Lonzo. What the point I'm trying to make is, since Ingram, Nance, Lopez didn't do much, Lonzo, Caldwell Pope obviously did their thing, but when you don't have 3 of the starters doing their thing, the bench came out to play, and we should have won the game, but the Pelicans knew how to close us out. There was too much of a deficit for us to come back against. If Ingram, Larry Nance, or Brook Lopez, if one of them just played better, we would have won. It was just unfortunate that our starting lineup did not get it done. Our bench got it done. And even though we lost, I'm still happy with the way that our bench played, because the bench is really, really important. A lot of people don't focus on the bench too much, but I do. And I think the bench is, it could be sometimes more important than the starting lineup. For us, you saw in game 1 against the Clippers, our starting lineup did not get it done. Brook Lopez had a good game. Larry Nance had an okay game, pretty good game. So our bench did not get it done in the first game. But in our third game, which is today, our bench got done. We had 2 of the starters play good, but we still lost by 7. So, if our bench plays good, we're going to be in the game, which it was. Like, right here, we made this comeback because of our bench, not because of our starting lineup. Obviously, Caldwell Pope's part of the starting lineup, but he was playing with a bench unit, making all those points, passes, whatever he was doing, he's contributing in a positive way with the bench unit. Jordan Clarkson, Kyle Kuzma, they're the reason why we even came back in the game. And I just want to see more defensive effort from both teams, in fact. New Orleans, you're up by 22. You pretty much got the game in the bag, and you let the Lakers go up 110 to 108 on you. New Orleans, yeah, you guys got the win, but you guys really need to look at the defensive mistakes they made. The turnovers, they just need to improve on that. Some of the guys that were scoring, they just made so many three-pointers, it seemed like. They made 3, they only shot 31%, but they made 10 threes. That's still a lot. They just set the tone early on, and when you do that, it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the game. I'm kind of glad there are 4 quarters. That's why the Lakers made it a game. But people like E'Twaun Moore, who shot 75% from 3, I don't know how good he is. I don't watch any Pelican games, but it seems like these guys that not too many people know of have great games against the Lakers. We need to stop that. One thing we did do, I'm not saying that it was a good defensive effort on Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis definitely had one of his worst games this game. And it sounds really weird because you're like, hey, he scored 27 points and 17 rebounds. How did he play bad? He didn't play bad. He played amazing. But it's one of his worst games because he scored over 30 in the last 2 games before this, and he had over 10 rebounds. So, we had some good defensive stops on him. Shot 20% from 3. So we did a better job compared to other teams. But, I'm just trying to point out the little things. DeMarcus Cousins, 22 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. Since he's so dominant, he can hit those guards. Like E'Twaun Moore and Drew Holiday out for the 3-pointer. So, they did that, and they took over the game. Pretty much we're down by 20 the entire game until mid-4th quarter. So I think both teams can learn from this. They can learn defensively that they need help. They need to know rotations well. When Julius Randle's at the 5, he's already an undersized power forward. So when he's at the center versus DeMarcus Cousins, he did a really good job of defending him actually in the 4th quarter. If you saw some plays, he was the ball was being floated to him and he just tipped it for a steal. The Lakers scored that possession. Julius Randle just made great defensive plays. And you just really need to watch the game to know how well Julius Randle played, how well Jordan Clarkson played, how well KCP played. Stats don't tell everything. Obviously, Julius Randle didn't have the best stats. He shot 5-6. He had 11 points. So that's not going to tell you much. You have to watch the game. The energy is not a statistic. The hustle is not a statistic. The emotion is not a statistic. Contesting is not a statistic. So, you know what? I'm happy with the way the Lakers play in the 4th quarter. I just hope the next game against the Wizards, I just want to see that fight in them all 4 quarters, not just the last quarter. Being down by 22 the entire game and obviously come back and being up by 2 in the last few minutes of the game, that says a lot. But I want to see that for the entire game, not just 12 minutes. I want to see it for 48. Now, I feel really confident about this Laker team, and I feel confident about this Pelican team. Great teams. Both teams have bright futures, and yeah, we'll see the Pelicans next time. So thank you guys for watching. Please like this video, comment down below on what your thoughts are on this game, and please subscribe for more. Alright guys, thanks guys. Peace out.